Hello, good evening, and a warm welcome to you. Welcome back to the Competitive Speed series. My name is Rosbeth, and I'll be your commentator for tonight. We have arrived at the second round of the season. You can see it right now on the calendar. It says Italy, and the track in Italy, it's not Monza, actually. I was a little confused last week. It's actually going to be Imola, and it's going to be a good one. I've got a good feeling about this one. A few changes since last week. Collisions in qualifying have been turned off, and the cars have been reverted once again to the F1 World Cars. So bear with me as I try to find several drivers on track, with many liveries slow showing the same color dot on the minimap, but I'm going to do my best for you. Before we get started, there's 19 drivers in the lobby at the moment. I cannot tell you which team is missing a driver, but we can at least watch the standings as they are right now. It's Team TF10 on the lead, despite Mark Schluter from ET8 winning last week in Silverstone. He's holding a lot of points for his team. 43 in total at the moment against 50. It's a little hard to read, 53 or 58 from what I can see for Team TF10. So of course, after one round, the standings are still incredibly close. TTM in third at the moment, then FVR in P4, NLR 5th, then CPI in P6, Zenith in P7, Eversio Racing, aka EVE, in P8, then ABS 9th, and TGF in 10th. There have been a few drivers have been disqualified for several reasons. There have been some appeals at the moment. So let's see what's going to happen. NLR, of course, the title defenders are a bit on the back foot at the moment, at least in 5th place, being almost 40 points behind the championship leaders of Team TF10. They had a very strong result last race in Silverstone, the race where there was a full intermediate course all the way throughout, one safety car, and of course the race leader suffering from fuel issues, allowing Mark Schluter in the end to get past. This time, no, it might be entirely different. It's a different track, might be different weather circumstances, and there are many different drivers for the teams present at the moment. For example, TF10 have got two new drivers in the names of Jack Lav and Fionn McKee. There's also a new name for TGF, Gino. There are some unfamiliar names, or at least for me, for ABS, Lucas Liefroyd. And I'm trying to find the second one. It's a bit further down the list. It's Axefox. That, of course, is a name we've seen last week as well. So, in a few moments, you will know who the other drivers are for the other teams. Keanu Liutel and Noah Gillicorpi, I believe it's pronounced, for FVR. TTM have got Guti Balint and Lighty. For EVE, we've got Givodar alongside, let's see where the other one is. I did request the teams to choose a similar livery for both drivers. It's already difficult to find the second EVE driver. I'm sure he's somewhere in the list, and we'll find out soon where he is. The only downside, though, is despite having the same livery, they might experience some double stacking in the pit lanes. So, well, we'll see. That might actually cost them more time than the cars apparently not being equal. We'll find out, though. We'll find out. The race is getting underway. You might have heard the little beeping going on with the lobby starting. Of course, there will be a mandatory restart to turn the collisions back on when the race gets underway. So there will be a few minutes respite for both you viewers and myself as the streamer before we get underway in racing. There we are, just a few more drivers waiting to ready up. Looks like I still haven't found the second EVE driver. I think he's actually not present. I also know that the lobby host, BlackBerry, is going to retire. So that probably explains why I thought there were 20 drivers in the lobby, but there aren't. So BlackBerry is not in the race, nor in the qualifying. Christian Lubinov, though, he is for TGF, as is Gino. Givadar apparently, Givadar Ivanov, stuck on the loading screen, so he'll probably get thrown out of the lobby in a few moments. And that means you'll be able to rejoin, hopefully. And there we go. I hope that actually worked for him. I haven't seen a Givadar has left the lobby message. Oh, and we continue with the wet shenanigans. From a rainy race in Silverstone last week, we actually continue on to a rainy qualifying in Imola. And a fun fact to know as well is that during the race restart, the lobby restart I should say, the weather will be set to dynamic once again. So whatever the weather circumstances are for this lobby, it will not be the same during the race. I accidentally enabled telemetry. I should actually have enabled the track map. There we go. Blackberry should retire, I believe. Otherwise, there's 3 TGF. There we go. He's actually went the wrong way. So that just happened. You'll be... I think he should have just gone spectator. It would have made things a whole lot easier. Oh well. Let's see who else is on their way at the moment. Jeremy Gallagher, one of the first cars out on track. Trying to find who is actually the first car out there. It's not Fian McKee. There's several black dots on the minimap. It might actually be Jack Lav. There we are. And there he is. For TF10, and he's got something to uphold from last week, where the team did really well. With Lucas Beisner and Ryan Grob, who finished 2nd and 3rd. Lucas Beisner, of course, overtaking... I believe that was one of the... Trying to think fast here. FVR cars, I believe. No, it wasn't FVR. It was ZNT. It was the Mercedes, at least. And now I can't remember which team was technically driving the Mercedes. But here he is, though. Jack Lav. On his way. Through the final 2 corners. The Rivazza. As he comes onto the main straight, of course, there will be no DRS, or will there be? He's tested something out on the soft tires, interestingly. It looks like everybody has come to an agreement that it's not the greatest tire to be on. Lighty, in fact, alongside Noah Yilikorpi, the first two to come out on the intermediate. So the track is already too wet for soft tires to be of any use. And now they've chosen to go differently. And here they are. Lighty and Noah. Let's see if Noah's a bit further ahead. No, he's actually behind. And we'll see how fast they're going to be. Looks like some drivers have decided to actually continue on with the soft tires. Keanu Lito being one of them. Let's follow him around. Looks like he's quite slippery. 26.5 something. Fortunately, the lap data didn't show it there. Whoa, sliding out there of turn 7. That was quite something. Let's see if the softs or the inters are going to be faster. Of course, this is just a banker lap, so it's the perfect moment, whoa, to test it out. But it looks like the softs are not that great to drive on right now. Keanu is definitely struggling. His lap time has also changed again. Apparently it resets at the end of every sector or something like that. It's definitely not 58... Oh, actually it could be 58 seconds. No, I highly doubt it though. Look at that. Jeremy Gallagher, 122.5 on the soft tires. And Keanu Liotel about to cross the line. It's definitely not going to be a 1 minute 10 or 11. Seriously doubt it. There we go. 22.7. Sasha Neeb in a 22.6. Let's follow Lighty around. He's pretty rapid. He's already unfortunately invalidated his lap, so we're switching our attention to Noah. He's also invalidated, so we will not yet know how quick the inters actually are compared to the softs. Givadar Ivanov, though, on his way. A 4th driver posting a lap time there. Ivan Santamaria, 22.5. Jeremy Gallagher, fastest of the lot at the moment. 22.5 as well. ZNT have to up their game. Oh, there goes Givadar Ivanov. Through the chicane. Went off straight away. Thankfully for him, no damage to the car. Slowing down straight away to let everybody past. Well, that's not ideal, I have to say. And that means he's going to have to try again, either in the inters or another set of soft tires. But it looks like, from our point of view, at least, the softs are struggling quite hard. Lighty, first sector, invalidated as well. Drivers once again struggling, 25.9, and DRS has been enabled, frankly. So, according to the stewards at least, the track is dry enough for the DRS to open. That will also increase, or decrease the lap times, I should say. And that means more people might now go back to the soft tires. Exafox, invalidated as well. A lot of drivers struggling. In fact, only 4 of them have set a lap time. I think most of them are waiting for the track to get a bit drier. They've probably got a lot more information than I do. Exafox, though, continuing on. It's going to be a 1 minute 22.1 invalidated, though. It would have been fastest. His DRS, though, is still closed. I'm sure I saw the message that it was enabled. Oh well. Isaac lead then for CPI. Tonight teamed up with Thomas Spausta. Their liveries though are a little different. Isaac is using the pink one. Thomas using a very vivid green livery. If I had to pick one, I would pick this one for CPI. I quite like it. Very Aston Martin-ish. Isaac though, in the lead of the 2 CPI cars. They were very strong on qualifying night. At the moment though, they're 6th in the standings. On the top of my head. Second sector, 53.4. Purple. Could very well be true. In fact, I can see the rain is actually stopped. So that does explain why most drivers have waited a little bit. It also explains why the DRS has been enabled. It also will mean that it will be quite crowded very soon on track, with many drivers coming out to set their lap times. Isaac lead across the line. What lap time is it going to be? A 1 minute 19.7 already. Drivers are going to be quicker. Guti Balint, he's coming in actually. Then it should be Mark Schluter next, race winner of last week. For ET8 on the Inters, fastest, 19.5. But there is Thomas Spausta. On the soft tires, almost taking another second off Mark Schluter's lap on the intermediates. So that definitely proves the softs are now faster. Drivers just had to wait a little bit to get going on the softs. Keanu Liuto. On his second attempt. First attempt in fairly wet conditions, 22.7. You will try again now. In much drier circumstances. I think he should be able to get at least 5 seconds up his lap time. I know everybody here can go a lot faster than this, and I'm sure we'll see some 1 minute 15s and 14s when the qualifying comes to a close. One thing, of course, that's different from last week with the ghosting being off is that they cannot give each other a tow anymore. So no more teamwork in qualifying. There he goes. DRS should open. There it is. And Keanu Liuto for his second attempt for FVR. His teammate sitting in the pit lane still without a lap time. In what is right now 18th position. But you can see many drivers are slowly crawling out of pit lane. And now on their out lap. And many others are still waiting when waiting. I mean, at some point, you only have one shot, 2.2 seconds through the first sector for Keanu. Oh, nearly going too wide, slid out of turn 7. Track might still be a little bit damp then. It does explain many drivers sitting in the pit lane. It also means they only have one big shot at taking provisional pole. And looking at how many drivers have invalidated their laps already, it might be a big risk. I would say get out now, at least get a banker in. 5 seconds quicker now for Keanu. I think we might see a 1 minute 16. We saw there Jivodar Ivanov in his fancy blue EVE car. Final corner for Keanu. And going back in. That would have been a pretty quick lap time. I'm a bit surprised that he goes in, actually. I think he should have just posted that one. I'm not sure why he doesn't go for it. Anyway, that allows us to follow somebody else. Let's check out Christian Lubinov. Together with Gino a bit further ahead. They've got a very similar livery, that's good. It will allow me to keep them separated from the rest. I know everybody's got their tag. But it means it's still difficult to find them on the minimap. On where they are in terms of how far they've gone. Whoa, big lock up there for Lubinov. Either that or he made way for Isaac Lead, which he probably shouldn't have because Isaac was still on out lap. And Lighty with the first really fast lap time of the night, 14.122. Lighty looking very fast again for TTM, and they need that. Guti Balint. There he is, Gino there going 200ths of a second faster than Lighty for TGF. Team GeForce currently only with 1 point in the standings, and they need this. Gino is definitely throwing in the fast lap times there. So let's see if Guti Balint can make it a party up there for TTM. He can't. Not sure what's going on here. His lap time is still continuing on. Maybe I misjudged the minimap. Maybe invalidated his lap. I didn't see it properly. Adam Crestan, a new name there for NLR. With their familiar black and green colors. Bright green, neon green you could call it. NLR at the moment with Ivan Santamaria in 7th. And Adam without the lap time. Ivan is a bit further back, so it would be wise to follow. He's on an outlap though. And Ivan is actually on an outlap as well. Actually they aren't. It's very confusing. Something weird is going on. Some drivers were on the outlap and they weren't. It looks like Adam is pushing. The lobby is confusing me very much tonight. Middle sector though, 48.9. Looking very fast. We're probably going to the 1 minute 13s, and Isaac Lead actually proves it straight away. 13.2. So across the line then, Adam Crestan, 13.4. Next, we're watching Jivadar's actually just started his hot lap. No, actually, he's about to finish it, but unfortunately, it was invalid. So he's trying once more. 5 minutes remaining though, so the pressure is building for these drivers. Jack Lav, third fastest now. Fionn McKee in second place. Isaac Lee though. He's just over a tenth quicker than Fionn McKee. Next across the line, several white cars. Saying it like that sounds so incredibly unprofessional, but I can't help it. I just can't see a difference on the minimap. I don't know what times are good, but don't think people will be hitting top times in this session. Let's find out. Noah Yedikorpi though. He's about to finish a lap for FVR, his teammate. Let's see where is he. Keanu Yuto, who still hasn't pushed in a fast lap, but he's about to. 13.0, there we go. Followed by Noah. He's going back in actually, with 4 minutes remaining. He might then have plenty of time for another attempt. Keanu though, will he be back in time? He's pushing really hard to go back to the pit lane as fast as possible. Who else is on the way? Exafox invalidated. I believe that is Thomas Pausta coming back in. 13.4, sitting 7th at the moment. Lucas Liefroyd also invalidated. Drivers once again struggling with track limits. Everybody's in. And that means we'll soon see a lot of cars flooding out as well for the final attempt. Less than 3.5 minutes remain. And then we will know who's on provisional pole. Christian Lubinov, the first to go out, still without a lap time. Can't believe there's still so many drivers without a lap. There's 6 of them who've yet to post a lap in. And there's also 2, that's Jeremy Gallonier and Sasha Neeb, who've got to post a really fast lap time. They've still posted their lap under the semi-wet circumstances on either softs or inters, which at that point in time were about as fast. Looks like the lobby might be restarted differently because there have been some issues. We've seen it ourselves too, with the game being confused on whether drives are on the outlap or not, which also causes me to be confused. On top of the color mesh. It's not full quali, no, not for CSS. 18 minutes short qualifying. So this is their very last opportunity to make a good lap. Guti Belind for TTM. His teammate at the moment sitting in 10th. He was on provisional pole for a while. Until the 1 minute 13 started to flood in. And I'm sure many drivers will actually go for that lap time. Maybe even more than that. We'll probably see a 1 minute 12 something. Now that Keanu has posted a 13.0. And he's managed to get back out in time, by the way. Everybody is going out at the moment. Christian Lubinov has negotiated through most of the traffic unscathed. There's 1.5 minutes remaining, so if he messes this lap up, he's still got time for another attempt. He's got to. Otherwise he'll just start 15th at best. Which is very unlikely, because most drivers will post in a lap time. 49.4 for the middle sector, not the fastest I've seen yet. Christian Lubinov probably on his way to a midfield sort of time, at least for now. I might be wrong though. Around the final corner. Actually, this is the final corner right here, the turn 19. 14.3. Yep, that's not going to be good enough, I'm afraid. Gutiba on his way. Going through turns 12 and 13, approaching the chicane. The Variante Alta. 48.8. It's quite a lot quicker than Christian. It will at least be a 1 minute 13. Might be more than that. Guti also needs to post a lap time there. Where is he gonna go? He's got a 1 minute 14.1 to beat from his teammate. Let's see. Across the line for Guti Belind. 1 minute 13.7. It's a lot better. It's only 9th fastest though. Many drivers still improving the lap times as we stand. Let's see, Exafox about halfway through pretty much. Noah a bit further back. Oliver not. We haven't seen him drive around yet for ET8. Very handsome livery for Mark and Oliver. I think this might be my favorite one in terms of color variation. Purple first sector for Oliver. I'm trying to find out who's the first to cross the line, which is a very tough job indeed. Jack Lev, second fastest. Isaac Lead, third. Lighty in fourth. There goes Fian McKee for third fastest. Watching Thomas Pausta, 28 milliseconds slower through the middle sector. It's unlikely to be pole position unless he finds more than half a second through the final sector. And look at that, Exafox with the exact same lap time. Thomas Pausta in 7th. Mark Schluter has invalidated. Jeremy Gallonier in 6th place. Ivan Santoria in 7th. Mark Schluter decides to finish the lap. Would have been a 1 minute 13.1. And there goes Oliver Knott. Wow, look at that. ET8 is on it. And this time they're on it in qualifying straight away. From the race win in Silverstone to pole position in Imola. Oliver Knott takes it for the team, with Mark Schluter starting from 12th. Strong job there. And some surprised reactions in the chat from Oliver not taking pole position. Keanu Leotone, Xavox on the exact same lap time, but Keanu did it first, so he starts on the front row. Xavox in third. Jack Lav just over 10th behind in fourth. Fian McKee then in P5. Isaac Lead, Jeremy Gallagher, Ivan Santamaria, Lighty, Thomas Pausta completing the top 10, followed by Adam Creston, Mark Schluter, Sasha Neve, Gino, Guti Balind, Jivodar, Christian Lubinov, and then Lucas Lefroyd and Noah Yilikorpi without a lap time. They haven't been able to do it on track tonight. And Jivodar and Christian are quite far off the pace. It looks like they'll be struggling in the race at least. So, retiring is the device, or the advice I should say. So we can do a quick restart. It's probably going to be a different lobby as well. We've seen some glitches going on, even from the spectator's perspective, and now that's a rare thing. Christian had problems. That's unfortunate. Let's hope his problems will be fixed in the race then. Right, until we go to the actual race, I'll be back with you in a few minutes. In the meanwhile, enjoy a bit of good old music from the F1 2012 game. We are back and we are about to get going. One driver down though, as one of the TF10 drivers had joined late on the Discord, and the rules state that not joining Discord before the session starts results in a disqualification. So that means Jack Laverty is not driving. Fion McKee though, he is, so TF10 with one driver tonight. Same goes for EVE, of course, with just Djurvadar Ivanov. And that means we'll have 18 drivers in the lobby instead of the 19 we had in qualifying, or the 20 that should have been here in the first place. I do not know what happened to the second EVE driver, nor who should have been in that car. Either way, it should be getting underway very, very soon, and then we shall know who's going to win the race. Oliver Nutt, of course, from pole position for ET8, his teammate down in P12. Let's see what Mark Schluter can do from there, as he, of course, won the race in Silverstone, so he's definitely capable of doing some things. But he'll have to fight his way through a lot of cars on a track where overtaking is a lot more difficult than it is on Silverstone. But you never know. Things might change drastically. I already said last week that the safety car changed his winning chances in his favor. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't have done it. So, who knows if there's going to be a safety car tonight. Anyway, just waiting for confirmation to the lobby to get going. The countdown is starting right now. That's good. So let's find out. Let me know in the chat, by the way, as well, who you think is going to win this race in terms of which team you think is going to come out on top. And if you're feeling fancy, you could also try your luck at trying which driver is going to win it. Of course, Oliver is starting from the front. And don't forget, there were two drivers with the same lap time just behind him. That's going to be interesting as well. Those being, of course, Keanu Liato. He'll start from second with a 1:13.074. And Exafox with the exact same lap time in P3. It's been quite a bit of a trend lately, at least on the streams I've been commentating, that drivers tend to drive the exact same lap times. We had, with the actual real-life F1 cars last Wednesday, 3 drivers in 3 different cars posting the exact same lap time in Abu Dhabi. Yes, Max, it's me who loves to say Alex Schreinemakers, but he's not driving tonight, although his team is present, NLR. This time, though, being driven by Adam Creston and Ivan Santamaria. He also drove last time, by the way. I commentated on another league, or team event, I should say. Anyway, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Not this black screen, but this point here, where drivers get to pick their car setup, their tire strategy, their fuel load. And it looks like the race at least starts in dry conditions. So that probably also answers your question, Asoles. It starts now, pretty much. I'm really curious to see who will come out on top. It's different teams on top this time. Of course, the track is different sort of track. Trickier corners, in my opinion. Lots of opportunities to mess up in terms of racking up warnings and penalties. Especially through the chicane and coming out of turn 15, which is the second corner in the chicane. It's where people tend to go a little bit too wide, pick up a warning or two, and then there come the penalties. And of course, there's the exits of turn 5 and 6. The entry and exit of turn 9, turn 12, 13, very tricky as well. And the final 2 proper corners of Rivazza are difficult to stay within the white lines on as well. So that's where the drivers are going to have to pay attention on. And this year's game in particular, it seems drivers are struggling with track limits. I've seen so many 3-second time penalties being handed out over the last few races I've commented, whether it was team events or actual league races. Driver struggling, nonetheless. All the same. As we wait for the countdown, remember, no formation lap, so we get straight to the action as soon as the screen switches to the grid, where Oliver Knott starts ahead of Keanu Liatou and Exifox, all within the same 1/10 of a second. Don't forget. Nobody, though, got into the 1 minute 12 tonight. I believe some drivers were on their way to doing so. Until they invalidated. I saw several drivers in the Discord that were unhappy with their performance. But you know, it is what it is. There's not much you can do. And you'll have to live with it. So some drivers starting further back than they would have liked, and therefore not being able to show their true pace. And now they have to fight their way through the field. And there's also 2 drivers who haven't been able to set a lap time at all. So they'll be having a lot more problems. So of course 2 drivers further back, Jivodar Ivanov and Christian Lubinov, with lap times that were 7/10 of the next car. I've seen in the chat that Christian Lubinov had problems. I'm not sure about Ivanov though. Whether he had problems or not. Might have been, because they almost had the exact same lap time in the back of the field. They both were about 1.3 seconds off provisional pole. Or at the actual pole, I should say. I'm just waiting for the lights to turn on. Mark Schluter wants to go racing. Can we go, please, and race? The driver's getting the green lights to ready up. And I hope one of them does now, because that means there'll be no more than 30 seconds of wait remaining. So keep in mind, EVE and TF10 have got 1 driver in tonight. And there's nothing they can do about it anymore. Which is, of course, especially for TF10, it's terrible news. They are leading the championship at the moment. Now they've only got 1 driver able to rack up the points. There we are then. The lights are going to go on right now with Oliver Knott from pole position. Can he keep it? That's the question. It's a long run to turn 1. And off they go straight away. Oliver Knott well off the line. There come Keanu Liatou and Exifox side by side already. Exifox with the slipstream. Oliver Knott taking 2nd place. Fian McKee taking 3rd. Keanu down to 4th already. As they all go into turn 1. All safe and sound. A bit of debris coming off, but that might or may not be actual damage to front wings. It's hard to tell because debris flies off everywhere in this game. Oliver Knott then leading from Exifox, Fian McKee, and we'll soon show you the tires because there's a lot of action going on right now, especially in the back of the field with Gino apparently in trouble already. As he drops a bit further down. Christian Lubinov also right there in 16th place. TGF in terms of points once again not looking that great at the moment. This allows us quickly to switch to the tires, and it seems it's quite a good mix of medium and hard tire choices. Last year at least the hard to medium strategy worked better on this track, and there goes Fian McKee up to 2nd place now. He's got a job to do and he's on it straight away as he now hunts down the race leader of Oliver Knott. Exifox back down to 3rd place. Keanu Liatou hanging on in 4th. Jeremy Gallier sitting in P6, very close to the car, the pink car of Isaac Lead for CPI ZNT there. They were strong again, as I say, in the qualifying night, right now in 6th and 12th. First lap complete then, and everybody appears to be in one piece still. We saw Gino with a little bit of trouble there, and Oliver Knott trying to create a little bit of a gap, pushing hard in turns 1, 2 and 3. Actually, that's turns 2, 3 and 4, because turn 1 is right after the start-finish line. A slight bend alongside the pit lane, apparently. It's the first proper corner. Opinions differ on track designers on which corner is considered as a number and which isn't. Things are calming down already here in lap 2. As we watch Adam Crestan hunting down Lighty Thomas Spausta for P9. Thomas on the hard, Adam on the medium, at least for now. He's got the advantage, but look at that. The left end plate of the front wing is missing, and now I know why, because he's pushing cars through the chicane right there. Adam Crestan very feisty. Thomas Spausta doesn't like that. He closes the door. not allowing him past. There's DRS, of course, enabled already, so he might be able to benefit from that, especially with parts of his front wing missing, which will may or may not make him a rocket ship on the straights. Oliver Knott, in the meanwhile, tried to create a 1 second gap to Fionn McKee. That didn't work. That allows the cars behind him to close in. More and more. There comes Adam Crestan. He was very close to Thomas Spausta. Couldn't make it past. Behind him, several close battles as well. Gino and Noah Yedikorpi in 17th and 18th fighting for positions right there. That might cost them DRS to the rest of the field. Not a great moment to fight just yet, or at least not that hard. Noah Yedikorpi going wide, trying to defend, and there goes Gino on the inside, but Noah is having none of it. The fight for last place is currently the most intense. And look at the gap they've already got to the next car. 1.4 seconds. And they are out of the points. This might be a bad race for both Gino and Noah Yedikorpi. Back to the front then, on lap 3. Oliver Knott still leading from Fionn McKee. Fionn trying everything he can to keep up with the race leader, but it seems in the first, second and third sector until the main straight, he's struggling, because that's where Oliver Knott pulls the gap. He might have carried a bit more downforce than this very black car behind. Exafox still sitting in third. He beat the man with the exact same lap time in turn 1. Keanu Liatou just out of the podium. He's closing and closing and closing. Is he gonna go for a move? He's a bit too far away, I'm afraid. Jeremy Gallagher, same story for him and Isaac Leet. As you can see already, overtaking very difficult, but it looks like, at least for a moment there, we saw, I believe, Keanu Liatou having a little bit of a look. Maybe trying to feign a move. Hasn't done it yet though. Looks like we might see a very long DRS train for quite a lot of this race. We can see some gaps starting to form, especially in the middle sector with Adam Crestan, of course, with his front wing damaged. Through these parts of the track is struggling a lot. He's got Mark Schluter behind, and he's still trying to overtake Thomas Spausta for 9th. Mark Schluter, last week's race winner for ET8. And as it stands right now, if Oliver Knott finishes like this, they will get very close to taking the lead in the championship, especially with TF10 only having one driver and ET8 having the full 2 of them. There was Guti Valent with a move on Lucas Liefroyd for P13. It looks like Lucas was ghosting a little bit here and there, so he might have just driven through him. And of course, is on a track like this the most ideal situation. Liatou once again having a little look. Isaac Leet going slightly defensive on Jeremy Gallagher. Jeremy though getting a bad exit. And there is Ivan Santamaria. We all know he likes to go for a move wherever he can. He's the man of comebacks, that's for sure. Ivan Santamaria for NLR, the title defenders, at the moment at least, are not able to put up the title defense they wanted. Today they are 7th and 10th. And at the moment, the best teams, at least in terms of the championship, appear to be TF10 and ET8. But it's only one race, so it's a little hard to judge. We'll have to wait at least 2 or 3 more races, including this one, to know the actual playing field of these teams. Which one are the strongest, and which ones will be the back markers. Which one will be in the midfield? We'll find out. Oh, Oliver Knott apparently has made a mistake. Whoa, everybody's going wide all of a sudden. And Oliver Knott, before the final corner even happened, has lost the lead. He's not even got DRS, so he must have made a mistake then. He's now getting overtaken by everybody and nearly takes out Isaac Leet there. I'm not sure what happened. He got absolutely swarmed by everyone, and the race leader from first down to 5th. Disaster's nearly there, striking Keanu Liatou. He went off the track a little bit. Several cars trying to get past Isaac Leet on the outside. Where is he gonna go? Trying to make the move stick. There's Jeremy Gallagher all of a sudden on the inside into turn 7. Can he make it work though? These are the opportunities you've got to take, and they all try to do their best to take them. Oliver Knott has now been demoted down to 7th place. What has happened to the race leader? What did cause him to suddenly fall behind Fionn McKee? Then not have DRS, fall down to 5th, make another mistake somewhere, now in 7th place. ET8 suddenly not looking as bright anymore in terms of points to try and take TF10's leading position. So despite the team only having one driver tonight, they once again lead the race. First penalty also being handed out tonight to Noah Yedikorpi. He's in a group of 5 cars with Jivodar in the lead. Scratch that, Lucas Liefroyd in the lead. I don't think that was the greatest idea for Lucas to go there. Oh, and there's Noah Yedikorpi now. Spun out, in trouble there. There's also a very lonely driver. That's Guti Balint in 13th. Finn McKee has survived the main straight. Exafox right behind. Keanu Lioto now getting very feisty to try and overtake him for second place. FVR has got a job to do. They didn't get the dream start they wanted. They are a strong team, that's for sure. But at the moment, in this event at least, it's not working out with Noah Yedikorpi far behind the rest. And with a time penalty. And Keanu Lioto not able to get past into first place, but he might try to make it work with an undercut, albeit he's on the hard tires, so he might make it work with the alternate strategy to the top 2. At least he's as fast as them on the harder compound, as are Jeremy Gallagher and Isaac Lead. So the fight for the lead might change once the first round of pit stop is over. 8 different teams in the top 8, well spotted there actually. That's always nice to see, and all of them well within a second of one another. Especially now Jeremy Gallagher, he tries to line up Keanu Lioto for a move. Is he going to be close enough? We also see another car there getting very close. There we go, Oliver Knott trying to re-tee. And Jeremy Gallagher, oh, there goes Isaac Lead, I believe. Spinning out after Jeremy Gallagher tried to make the move on Keanu Lioto. Jeremy also falling behind all of a sudden. A lot of things are going wrong for these drivers. And now Ivan Santamaria finds himself in 4th, but with a gap more than a second to the next car. That might prove bad for them. So he needs to close it with all his might. Otherwise, oh my goodness, there's a lot of things going wrong in the top 3 right there. There was Keanu Lioto with a bit of a collision with Exafox, I believe. The gloves are off. Ivan Santamaria has been able to close the gap thanks to the fighting going on with these 3. Many things happening all at once. Lucas Liefroyd now with the 3-second time penalty in this race. Also with the back of the field. Lap 9 starting right here. And everybody is hunting everyone. Lighty there going in for a pit stop. Probably he's got some damage due to all of the stuff happening all at once. Exafox, is he going to go for it on Fionn McKee? No, but now he has to go defensive and against Keanu Lioto, because he certainly came out of nowhere, and it's a safety car. A safety car has come out because Christian Luminov has crashed out of the final corner. And that might turn things around a lot. Those on the mediums, well, they might go to the hards and finish the race, but those on the hards, it will be too early for them to switch to the mediums. Hello Casper, welcome to the stream. So what are they going to do then, these drivers, I wonder? They haven't been able to open up gaps to another. I see Gino there suddenly losing positions, not sure what happened there. There he goes, re-overtakes and disappears. Ooh, he's lagging around a lot. That explains why things are changing all of a sudden. Many drivers in trouble tonight, whether it being through connection issues or just through collisions. Our pole sitter finds himself in 5th, so he's at least recovered a little bit due to the to 2 drivers falling out. Jeremy Gallagher and Isaac Lead. They had a big come together. Isaac Lead spinning out first, and then I think Jeremy Gallagher tried to go for a move on somebody in the top 3, and that didn't work out either. Looks like these drivers got no choice but to pit. You want the freshest tires, and therefore those on the hards especially will be in trouble. It looks like Mark Schluter doesn't care because he just continues on. He just continues. Doesn't really matter to him. He wants to lead the race again. He did so last week in Silverstone. That won in the race in the end, even though it wasn't the final 2 laps where he had to do it. Now he does it on lap 10, but his tires will be 9 laps older than everybody else's. Ian McKee therefore now to 2nd place. We also see Lighty, who came in a lap earlier. He might at least recover some of the positions he's lost. He was in 10th when he pitted, and he finds himself in 10th again. So it's almost like he predicted the future, because as soon as he went in, the safety car came out, and now he's not lost any positions, and I think he even managed to replace his front wing. So Lighty has done a good job of recovering himself back into the top 10. He's now right behind his teammates on a different strategy. Pretty is now on fresh mediums. Lighty is now on 1 lap old hard tires, which are still fresh, of course. Ivan Santamaria in 5th place now. Some drivers will have been hit by the double stack with not their teammates. The game doesn't really care about the tags or the liveries. They just throw in the drivers randomly in pit boxes. And all you have to do is hope that whoever is in the next pit box to you is not going to pit on the same lap. But now it of course had happened because everybody pitted. CPI drivers together in 11th and 12th place. TGF on the back foot, 1 driver out, crashed in the final corner, and Gino in last place. Plus light though, all of them now have fresh front wings. Adam Christan, is his front wing repaired? No, they're still a little bit missing. Apparently it doesn't harm him that much. He continues on. I mean, whoever was coming in behind him would have been screwed if he has replaced his front wing. So while the damage can be seen visually, he's not suffering from it. So then Mark Schluter now leading the race. From Fian McKee, Exafox, Keanu Yato and Ivan Santamaria in 5th place. Sasha Neeb has made up a lot of places now, thanks to the safety car, finds himself in P6. Adam Christan in 7th, Oliver Knott P8, Guti Balint in P9, and then Lighty after an earlier pit stop in 10th place. Then the 2 CPI drivers, Isaac Lee, Thomas Pausta. Then Jivedar Ivanov, the only EVE driver tonight, Lucas Lefroyd, Noah Yidikorpi for FVR, then Gino for TGF, and Jeremy Gallagnier now all the way in the back. He's gone in for another pit stop. And now he has to fight his way back to the front. The only good news for him is that now his teammate is in the top 6, where he was previously. Let's see if Sasha is up for the job. Let's see if he can do it. Safety car in this lab. Not this lab, actually, this lap is what I should say. Going into a lab is a whole different story, to be fair. So, what can Mark Schluter do with those old tires? Fian McKee is warming it up like crazy, that's for sure. Sliding around a lot. Mark Schluter is not slowing down a whole lot. The safety car is not even in the pit lane yet. He's definitely ready to pull away as soon as he can. Now he's slowed down. And there he goes already. Only a tiny moment of slowing down, but Fian McKee was very awake, but so was Exafox. He's actually more awake than Fian McKee was. Is he going to challenge the TF10 driver for P2? No, he isn't. He's too far back, and that allows Fian to stay in 2nd place, and now we're going to see the tire difference. The grip difference, that's for sure, because there's Fian McKee already. As they head towards turn 7, turns 5 and 6 there, but no! Mark Schluter definitely didn't allow him to get past, and Fian McKee has now dropped down to 4th place. Keanu Liato now on the offensive against Mark Schluter on much quicker medium tires. And he does the job. Up into 1st place he goes. Exafox now the next car in line to try and get past what is now the X-Rays leader. I see in the top left it's still showing safety car, but don't worry, it's definitely not the case. There comes Exafox into turns 12 and turns 14 and 15, and now with a 3-second time penalty because Mark definitely didn't want to open the door too wide. Now comes Fian McKee again, but there's still Exafox. There comes Fian McKee with a move on the inside, a dive pretty much. He wants to show Mark Schluter that whatever his tire strategy is, it's not working. And now Mark Schluter in 4th place. DRS enables, next car in line, Ivan Santamaria, Keanu Liato has managed to grab a 2nd of a gap to the next car. That is great news for the FVR driver. as Mark Schluter is getting overtaken from every single direction. Many other moves happening at the moment. Adam Crestan and Isaac Lead fighting side by side. And of course Adam Crestan gets pushed wide there because it's not a place you usually overtake. Now he has to defend instead of attack. Now he pushes another car nearly onto the grass. There goes Lighty though. It does get ahead. And Adam Crestan has to slot in behind. Lighty up to 11th. Back up to 11th, I should say, because Oliver Nutt is on a roll. Or is he, though? He's in 10th now. Isaac Leet and Thomas Spousta are making up the position, actually. They started in 11th and 12th after the safety car restart. And now they're in 8th and 9th. Keanu Lioto has pulled off a master move there. There's no other way of saying it. He's made himself quite safe from harm, at least for the time being. So unless Exafox and Fian McKee are going to cooperate, he's going to be safe. And from what we have seen so far, neither Exafox nor Fian are looking very cooperative. There goes Fian, and I take back my words. That definitely was cooperation there. And they've closed the gap by 0.2 of a second on the straight. Looks like at least in the corners, Keanu might be faster. That's where he's got the edge. Mark Schluter now down in 6th place, and he seems to have stabilized his position for now. Guti Balint is right behind. 1.7 between Fian McKee and Keanu Lioto. We can almost certainly say that these tires won't last until the end. Especially Mark Schluter's, because he still has to pit in the first place. He decided to stay out. And now Guti Balint is knocking on his door as they approach the chicane. Now, he's no longer acting as a big roadblock. He's able to keep up with the cars ahead. It's like those old hard tires aren't that bad after all. Who's going to be the next to make the moves? Ivan Santamaria defending from Sasha Neeb. Now Fian McKee and Sasha actually now with the fastest lap of the race, as he's rapidly approaching Ivan and actually gets past Ivan Santamaria up to 4th place for ZNT. In the meanwhile, also Exafox and Fian McKee having swapped positions once again, trying to close the gap and limit the damage through the corners on the main straight. And they do so successfully. At least they keep the gap stable somewhat. It still remains at 1.6 or 1.5 seconds at the end of the main straight, and then goes back up to 1.8 seconds through the corners. So, Keanu faster in the corners, the rest faster on the main straight due to the slipstream and the DRS. But the fact of the matter is, they are not able to close the gap, they're only able to stabilize it. Ooh. There was Thomas Spousta with a bit of a moment. Probably scared Isaac Lead right behind him, his own teammate as well. Both are hunting down Guti Balint and Mark Schluter. Of course, Guti not able to get past yet, and Thomas and Isaac are getting impatient. They do want to get past. All three of these cars got medium tires, and at least for now they're faster. Now Guti Balint's got a good run on Mark Schluter. Mark Schluter doesn't really have a toe anymore. Still though, he's really fast on the straights apparently. And it does not allow him to get to allow anybody past. Look at that, Thomas Spousta now and Guti Balint. He does get past at the very least, and now he can try to attack Mark Schluter. But this man's got a lot of straight line speed. Ooh, there, that's going to hurt him even more. With yet a pit stop to go, Mark Schluter now with a 3-second time penalty to his name. Exafox as well. That's going to harm his podium aspirations as well. That means Sasha Neeb at least now is on the podium. Ivan Santamaria technically in 4th, and I believe even Thomas Spousta is going to gain 2 positions from this scenario. But the race is still long, we're only halfway in. And I'm not sure whether these drivers are going to make a pit stop or not. Of course, the tire life right here, as you can see, are measured, including those laps behind the safety car. So it's not entirely accurate in terms of wear. Mark Schluter is now sinking through the field. He's got a big gap to the next cars. And will be overtaken again, this time by Thomas Spousta and Guti Balint and Isaac Lead everywhere. Once again, cars swarming around him. There's Isaac Lead. Oh, nearly pushing Guti Balint. Guti Balint has to yield, and he's falling back quickly now. He's got to let his teammate pass here. Lighty now up a position. And Mark Schluter is now holding up his own teammate. What is he going to do? Oliver Knott right behind on much fresher tires. There's got to be a team order here. Oliver Knott has to be let past. And then Mark Schluter can play roadblock for those trying to attack Oliver. He doesn't want him to wait for very long. Mark has to yield, but how long is he going to wait? You can see Oliver being held up badly here now, as Noah gets another time penalty. FVR is having both a great and a bad day at the same time. It is definitely possible if you're racing as a team in a team event. Oliver Knott still behind Mark Schluter. He's leaving a little bit of a gap. What is Mark going to do? This is bad for ET8. I think Mark is not going to go defensive on his teammate here. He can't do that. There he goes. Oliver had to wait a lap. But at least he's passed. And the good news is they've still got DRS in the car ahead. Jeremy Gallagher on Jivodar Ivanov for 12th position. We also saw the swap between Exavox and Fian McKee. And interestingly, they've now closed the gap to within a second. So the cooperation has paid off. The top 5 is now once again one group. Keanu Liato, of course, had to go on the medium tires. And I think Exavox and Fian McKee, especially now, are starting to feel the advantage coming to them. Because the mediums will definitely not last until the end of the race, or at the very least, they will be severely worn by the end of the race. I'm not certain whether they'll make it. Safety car was, of course, coming out quite early, I have to say, around that 9 or 10-ish. And now Keanu Liato under pressure from Exavox, Fian McKee, Sasha Neeb and Ivan Santamaria. Now 5 cars fighting for the lead. However, Exavox with 3 seconds. Now Lighty also with 3 seconds to his name. There goes Isaac Lead on his own teammate, going for P6. Spousta has the slot in behind. No attack on the race leader yet. Although we have to say Exavox is awfully close. The pace difference is swapped now in favor of Exavox. Keanu Liato had the advantage thanks to Mark Schluter's tires. But he no longer has it. Plus he's got no teammate to help him out. Well, to be fair, neither do Fion, Sasha and Ivan, of course. If Isaac and Thomas Spousta can close the gap to this group, they can work together quite well. It's going to be a challenge because, of course, this group can tow one another along. And Isaac and Thomas are 1.8 seconds behind this group of 5. There's still a safety car being shown on the top left side, but do keep in mind there's no safety car yet. It's all green throughout, at least for the moment. No big collisions yet, but don't pin me to the wall for that one. This might happen at any moment, and I'm quite good at jinxing things. There goes Exavox for the race lead. Keanu doesn't defend it very hard, but there comes Fian McKee as well. And Fian takes 2nd place. Now Keanu down to 3rd position. Thomas and Isaac overtaking one another, but look at the time they've lost already. It was 1.8, now the gap is up to 3.3 seconds. The CPI guys are definitely not able to keep up with the lead group. Nor are the cars that are following them, including the pole sitter Oliver Knott. Oliver made that mistake at the start of the race somewhere, the first 3 or 4 laps. Cost him the lead, it's even cost him a podium, and now it's cost him the top 5 as well. The best he can do for now is P6. Unless there's a safety car, and then he might be able to rekindle his hopes. He's got a big defensive wall ahead of him. Both CPI cars versus both ET8 cars with Mark Schluter on all the tires. He still has to pit. He's going to go for the regular schedule. And with the pit lane here being very long and very slow, he's going to fall behind very, very far. Noah Yedikorpi not able to follow the rest of the drivers. Mark Schluter still not coming in. There comes Oliver Nutt on Isaac Leet for P7. Can he do it though? Isaac Leet though brilliantly using his own teammate to defend himself, but he has sacrificed Thomas Spalstau. Oh, collision there between both ET8 cars. As Thomas Spalstad tried to defend his position, now he's in the sandwich of the ET8 cars. Mark Schluter might have gotten some damage from the moment there. This could be an opportunity for him to pit then. There's a whole backup. Whoa, my goodness me, what's going on right behind them? Lighty and... Oh, there they go! That was about to happen there. An explosive fight with Lighty sliding off the track. I believe he was fighting with Adam Creston or Jeremy Gallagher for that position. I think it was Adam Creston for NLR. They tangled wheels, nearly took one another out, and then Lighty went wide due to another collision. And now Lighty finds himself on the back foot. Still within this group though. Still, everything is possible for him. There's Fian McKee on Axefox going to turn 2. Takes the lead. Axefox doesn't really defend it. Ivan Santamaria also overtaking Keanu Liato from the lead of the race with a almost 2-second gap now down to P4. And Oliver Nutt, oh, that's really not something he can use. The pole sitter now with a 3-second time penalties. He tried to get away from the CPI cars and he's managed to create a gap, but it needs to be 3 seconds or bigger now. Also Mark Schluter with a 3-second time penalty. The teammates just doing copy-paste from one another. At least in terms of penalties. Where they celebrated last week in Silverstone. Now the best they can do is look back on this race and think on what happened. What went wrong today? Where did this sudden drop in luck, or whatever it was, come from? It certainly wasn't luck that brought Mark Schluter to the victory. Jeremy Gallagher now with a 3-second time penalty. The penalty are racking up. Soon we'll have more drivers without or with a penalty than without. Thomas Spalstad now, Mark Schluter. And Mark still hasn't come in. I think he's hoping for a safety car. His tires are still holding on somewhat. 22 laps old right now. Axefox retaking the lead from Fian McKee. Fian lets him through. Of course, he doesn't really have a problem doing so because Axefox got the penalty anyway. Oh, there goes Mark Schluter, tumbling down the order. Mark Schluter, where is he? Where is he? There he is. His feisty defense has come to an end at last. And I think now would be the opportunity to pit. Givadar with Gino for P12. Side by side, where is Givadar gonna go? Round the outside, that would have been something brave, but it doesn't work, and he loses more positions now. That didn't work out. Had he backed off earlier, he might have at least kept his 13th place. Now he's in P15. The only EVE car on the last points paying position. We're starting to reach the end of the race with lap 24. 9 to go. And the top 5 remains quite stable. Fian McKee once again sailing past Axefox. All of them towing one another along. Isaac Leet and Oliver Nutt fighting, but also cooperating. Unsuccessfully though, but they just can't catch the lead group. The gap is now 4.2 seconds. And Oliver will not be liking this race in the slightest. He was a contender for the race win, that's for sure. Whoa. Isaac Leet there. Had a bit of a struggle through turns 5 and 6. Almost allowing Oliver not to get back past. You can now see the medium tires struggling. And Oliver Nutt now has got the advantage. In tire life, at least, or in tire wear. Not in penalties though. Look at how close he is right there. We saw Jeremy Gallagher overtaking Adam Christan for 9th place, a bit further back. A few cars back, actually. And Oliver Nutt is now waiting for the moment to strike. And then what he needs to do is build that 3-second gap. But he will have several other cars in tow with the hard tires. You can see Mark Schluter has now pitted for fresh mediums. He will at least try it for the fastest lap. But it won't grant him points as he's outside of them anyway. At least he can try to steal from another team. Exavox and Fian McKee once again switching positions. Here comes Oliver Nutt for 6th place. There comes Thomas Spausta as well, keeping up with the 88 car. Oh, there's Jeremy Gallagher as well on Isaac Lead. And Adam Creston trying to get past too. And he actually makes it work. Now that's a round of applause for Adam. Despite his damaged front wing, he still makes the moves. He's got a lot of straight line speed, of course. And Isaac didn't have DRS, and he finds himself from 6th to 10th place in the matter of a few corners. Now what can he do from there? That's the question. You have to say, though, both CPI cars in this group are the only ones without a penalty. So that's their big advantage. They don't have to fight very hard. Unless they've got 2 warnings themselves and they would rather be safe than sorry. But if they are wise, they'll now try to keep it within the white lines until the line. Until the checkered flag. Then I can at least claim a good haul of points for the team, because P6 and 7, that's worth a decent amount of points if you combine them. Switches in positions once again between Exafox and Fian McKee. And also between Sasha Neeb and Keanu Lioto. Now Keanu down to 5th place. Some drivers struggling harder with their mediums than others. Thomas Spausta is trying his best. But you look at that through the corners, he's struggling so hard. Jeremy Gallagher doing all he can to follow. Thomas has to be careful with his tires being this worn. To easily pick up the penalty he doesn't want. And we officially have more drivers with a penalty than without right now. And let's see how bad those penalties are. Some of them still at 3 seconds. Exafox already at 6. Ooh, that's really gonna hurt him. That's really going to hurt him. He's trying to fight for the lead, but with 6 seconds to your name, that's not going to work. Look at that. Adam Creston is still on the move. Whoa, that nearly went horribly wrong. And there's Thomas Spausta now with a 3-second time penalty. I was trying to tell him. And now he's actually done it. Isaac Lead is now the only driver in this group without a penalty. And they're all going to have to be careful, because there's another group approaching rapidly with Lucas Leefroyd at the head of that group. Meanwhile, the head of the field also switched positions, and Sasha and Keanu are almost falling out of DRS now. With the medium tires, I can officially consider them to be dead, because they're struggling really hard. That safety car killed their race, that's for sure. Sasha and Keanu doing all they can to keep up, but it's a difficult job that comes more and more difficult for them. And this group of 5 has now become a group of 8 cars from 6th to 13th place. 14th place, so 9 cars in fact are within 1 second, although Lighty is almost within that second now, as he has overtaken Lucas Leefroyd for 11th. It looks like he's at least on the better tires now, and those in the mediums are at the tail end of the group ahead. Isaac Lead and Thomas Spausta both went for the mediums. They had no choice, they started on the hards. And those who started on the hards suffer from that early safety car badly. Sasha barely within DRS range. He actually was able to open the front wing, but look at the difference in time right now. There goes Exafox once again. Actually, it's Ivan Santamaria now taking the lead of the race. Fian McKee in 3rd. Ivan has managed to get himself into the battle for the lead properly now, and now he's at the head of the group. Look at the 2 cars behind, Sasha and Keanu, struggling so hard. They nearly are incapable of keeping the car on the track. And the gap between those 2 and the car behind, Jeremy Gallagher, is actually starting to shrink. Now they're lucky that these drivers all have penalties. They've already lost almost 1 second. I don't think they'll be there fast enough, especially with those penalties there. Isaac Leeds is a very rare sight in between this group. Look at that. Penalties all around him. It's an easy P6 for him right now. And if they can close the gap to the head of the field, it might even be a P5 with Exafox on his 6-second penalty there. At least Sasha and Keanu know they'll move up a position if they can stay within those 6 seconds. They'll have to keep it clean though. The both of them. Exafox retaking the lead on track. Fian McKee moving past. This is a game of chess for the top 3 right now. Positioning is absolutely key. Where do you want to be on the final lap? Fian McKee not getting a great exit out of turn 3 and 4. Ivan Santamaria putting on the pressure to the only TF10 car on track tonight. With the blackest of black liveries we can find. Isaac Leeds has lost connection to the group ahead, almost. He's struggling to keep up with his teammate. Lighty, Lucas Leifroyd, all with a chance to overtake him. The only advantage Isaac has, once again, is not having any penalties. He's still got a shot at P6. It's getting more and more difficult. As the gap is increasing, slowly but steadily. And Tomasz, I think, is doing all in his power to make sure his teammate stays with him. Oliver not there, almost pounding on the mistake that Adam Creston made. Look at this. Oliver not for a position there on track and on paper, because they both, I believe, got a 3-second time penalty. They do. Lucas Leifroyd also got a 6-second penalty now. I wonder if any of them are going to be appealed to the stewards. Maybe some of them were happening due to being pushed off. Lighty might try and do that, because I believe he was pushed off at least once. Especially in turn 7 where he just slid off the track. Maybe the game gave him a warning for that one. Sluby, for you, I'll show it again. There you go. Noah is taking the lead on penalties. 15 seconds. He's pretty surely nearing disqualification there. But I cannot show ERS Leonard. For the fact that stream sniping might be a thing between teams. You cannot show the battery. All I can show you is the battery lights flashing when they recharge. So the struggles and the battles continue. Penalties, old medium tires, and the top 3 fighting for the win. Sasha and Keanu have given up. At least their tires have given up. I'm sure they haven't given up. They need to stay within 6 seconds, which I think is perfectly doable. And then they will have to fight each other for P3. Technically. The penultimate lap. And now positioning is key. Ivan Santamaria goes for the lead. Fian McKee goes for second place. Exafox stays out of it. He can't win the race either way. And there goes Fian McKee for the lead. No, he backs out. He doesn't want to be in front. I don't think Ivan Santamaria wants to be in front either. So this is going to be a game of watching each other. They're slowing down. Sessionib and Keanu Liatel come closer and closer. Very fast now. And maybe they even might be in with a shot for the lead of the race. And I think the top 3 realizes now that the group behind is closing in fast. Look at this. They've gained more than 1.3 seconds due to the shenanigans in the top 3. Sessionib and Keanu Liatel are back in business. As these 3 are squabbling for position, literally. Where do they want to be? Not in front, but Ivan Santamaria has to do it now from P1, defending against D2. And there goes Fian McKee straight away for the lead, and he will have DRS as well. This is the position for him. It's perfect from Fian McKee right there, and Ivan Santamaria has got no choice but to watch them sail away from him. With Sessionib behind, trying to close the gap. Exafox takes the lead. Fian McKee lets him, because even if Fian does get a penalty, he'll still win it, because Exafox got 6 seconds to his name on the final lap of the race right now. Ivan Santamaria still's got a shot at re-overtaking Fian McKee for the lead of the race, but he's got to do it fast. Fian leading. He wants to avenge last week's race, where Ryan Grubb lost it to Mark Schluter on the final few laps. Now he can avenge his own teammate Exifox goes wide. Ivan Santamaria still on the hunt. There goes Fian McKee. If he can get Exifox in between himself and Ivan, the race lead will definitely be safe. Adam Creston with another 3 seconds to his name. Ivan Santamaria having a little bit of a look. Yellow flag. There goes Jeremy Gallonier dropping down the order. Disaster in the midfield. Many position swapping happening. Is Ivan going to go for a dive bomb? Is it going to be all or nothing? No, it isn't. He's going to play it safe and take second place for his team. The title defenders at least are back on the podium for sure, as Fian McKee is going to win the race here in Imola, with Ivan Santamaria in second, Sasha Neeb for ZNT taking a podium in third. Exifox will remain in fourth. Oliver Knott from pole, at least he recovered to fifth position. Thomas Spausta in P6, Isaac Lead in 7th, then Adam Creston in P8, Lighty in P9, and Jeremy tumbling down to 10th place after a collision on the final lap. Then Gino in 11th, Guti Balint in P12, Lucas, whoa! That is something from Jivodar Ivanov coming on across the line the other way round. Where was I? Keanu Liatel only in 14th. Disaster has struck for him as well. Didn't see that, unfortunately. But where FER was looking good for a win, now they barely score any points. Oh, dearie me. There we are, confirming then. Fian McKee is the race winner. Ivan Santamaria second and Sasha Neeb in third. I'm not sure what happened to Keanu Liatel though. He was with Sasha Neeb for most of that lap. And then suddenly he wasn't. And there he is in 14th. It's really gotta hurt. They only scored 2 points for FER tonight. And that's actually far from ideal. Mark Schluter misses out on points. He does get the fastest lap though. But it will not grant him an additional point. If he had finished 15th, he would have had it. At least Keanu Liatel can live happy with the fact he doesn't have any penalties. But still 14th. That's not great. As he was fighting for third. I wonder what happened there. Right though! It does conclude this race. I think Keanu might have had a puncture then. Because he's not blaming anybody. He's blaming the strategy. And in fact, somebody's saying whoever caused the safety car should quit the game. So yeah, they're definitely blaming the strategy then and the tires, because it ever looks more likely that Keanu has had a puncture, not a penalty, a puncture from that strategy they were forced into. The tires were pushed too hard and they just exploded. I will quickly tag the drivers. Can't find Sasha. Let me join the actual commentators box in the Discord. Put up our fancy interview screen and let's see and wait whether or not they are in for an interview. Because we would like to hear from Fian McKee. He had to defend the honor of TF10 all on his own, and he won it. Ivan Santamaria, second place for the title defenders. Like to hear, and Sasha in third place. Looks like our race winner is actually in, so let's drag him in straight away. Fian McKee, there you are. You were alone for the team tonight, yet you managed to do it. You kept your head calm, and there you are, race winner. How do you feel?
Yeah, justice from my guy Jack, you know. It was pretty easy, to be honest. Kind of just chilled for most of the race behind the Fox, and then I knew he had a penalty, so let him win.
Yeah, Xfox got that loads of penalty. I mean, the safety car, of course, came out quite early. You started on the mediums, then you had to go to the hards. How were your tires doing by the end of the race?
Bro, they run like 30% or like 20 something. I don't know how. I
That's
was just
actually not
like,
that much.
yeah. I was like, everyone around me was sliding around so much. Like Exafox was like in the wall 20 times nearly. I
Yeah.
just, I just drove slow and let my tires cook.
So I'm not sure if you saw the race last week where your team lost the race on the final few laps. This time, though, you managed to scrape it home for the team. In general, though, only 2 races in, but do you consider your team, TF10, to be a contender for the title this season?
I haven't watched any of the races. I don't know what the points are like, but we're TF10, bro. We win everything.
You're still in the lead in the championship, that's a fact.
All right. We would have been 1-2 if we had Jack though, so yeah, free up.
Yeah, so let's look forward a little bit to next week, where we'll be going to Saudi Arabia. What do you think of that track? How will your team perform there?
I 1-2. Fastest lap pole.
All right, a lot of confidence. That's a good thing. So let's see if the team can live up to your predictions. So congratulations on winning this race. It was quite the epic one, and enjoy the victory.
Yeah, thank you. Free
Cheers.
up Jack, bro. Free up Jack.
All right, it looks like Sasha is willing to join the interview room. Let me actually send him a link. Because he doesn't know where to go, so I'll just give him the link to the waiting room, and then we can drag him in here, and then he'll be able to give us a bit of insight on that position, if he's able to find it, of course. All he has to do is click the button. Axefox, of course, finishing 4th. He was fighting for the win. The penalty really hampered him, though. That held him back a lot. Looks like Sasha hasn't found it yet. Huh, apparently he can't join it. It says it's locked. Right, then I'm going to drag him in from the general voice chat if I can do that. That's a long drag downwards. Actually can't do it from there. Looks like I will not be able to drag him in here. For some reason I can't drag somebody from the general voice chat into the waiting room. That's a shame. I could try it like this though. That should work. I'll just join here in the general voice chat myself. Sasha, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Excellent. So I'll just do it in here then. You finished 3rd in this race after a struggle on the mediums, I think. First question I'd like to ask you is how close were they to exploding?
Close. I haven't watched at the percentage in the last lap, but I think they were close, yeah. I think maybe 5-6%. Like one lap more and it would have been very close.
Yeah, you were alongside Keanu Lioto, who was on the same strategy as you during the second stint. Both of you were struggling, of course, and he suddenly fell behind. We didn't see what happened. However, maybe you saw what happened to him because he was close to you.
Yeah, he got a puncture.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, that confirms my suspicions.
Yeah, rear puncture, I think. And I think he blocked Jeremy and cost him some position, so it's a bit annoying for the team what happened there in the last lap.
Ah, I
But,
see.
yeah.
Still, though, 3rd position, something you expected here in Imola?
Not at all.
Okay.
I knew I was going to struggle in qualifying as I always do this game. But the race pace, like the last couple of races I did, was really good, so I was hopeful to move up. But I made a mistake because I didn't actually have 2 hearts. so I had to go on the medium, and my engineers told me don't do it. But I tried to do it, and it's somehow worked. I got lucky that they were fighting at the front in the last lap.
Yeah,
But
so
yeah, I did not expect the result like this. Like, big thank you to the team for the support. It's been a tough start to the game because I'm lacking a bit of playtime against the others.
mhm.
But yeah,
Do you think you'll be doing some
GG's.
more races for the team in this season? In this
Yeah,
event?
yeah, I hope, of course, because the pace has been quite good in the race trim. I just need to work on the qualifying, and I think the team is also quite happy.
Right, sounds
And
good.
we haven't heard each other for a couple of years now. I know you.
You do?
Yeah, from F1 2020.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
Sparky.
Ah, I see. Yeah, now I had to think. I don't remember your name, but now that you say that one, yeah, then definitely Sparky. It's good to see you again. Interesting
Yeah,
how
you too.
sometimes your roads simply cross again by coincidence.
Yeah, 4 games later, I'm still doing
And you're
all
still
right.
there. So yeah, that's awesome. So happy to see you back then.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
yeah,
Happy to see you
yeah. Cheers,
still
man.
in this community as well.
Yes, we're still going strong.
Yeah. And GG's to the rest of the podium, of course, and Keanu for a nice fight.
Yeah, well,
Was good. It was fun.
yeah, definitely. Good for you, man. Congratulations on third place, and let's see if we'll see some more of you later down the line.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Yeah, I hope to do it again.
Let's find out.
Let's see. See you.
See you later. All right, ladies and gentlemen, all viewers watching tonight, thank you so much for joining me here tonight in this epic second race in Imola. One safety car once again. That screwed up those starting on the hard tires, especially Keanu, who managed to get himself a puncture due to the tires simply giving up life. Jeremy Gallagher got involved into the incident as well. Not sure Keanu could have done much about it. That cost ZNT some points as well, but FVR were harmed the most, I'm afraid, tonight. That will harm their standings at least. Let's watch those standings before we go away for the night. They are fourth for now, but that might change, especially with Ivan finishing in second place for NLR. CPI doing a fairly decent job as well. ZNT, of course, with a podium for Sasha. And, well, let's find out how things will stand after the penalties and stuff have come in from the stewards. ABS, of course, having a decent race with Exafox as well. So we'll see. Next week in Saudi Arabia, same place, same time. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. And until again, wow, I'm really struggling for words right now. It's been a long day, so please forgive me. Until we meet again, goodbye.